Hello and welcome to the channel. In tonight's quick video, I am in the garden. I am still working on potting up things and sowing seeds. And so today I'm taking you in the garden in between rain showers because it has been raining for the past 2 days. Everything is soaking wet. And before I get wet again today, let's get in the garden. I have been cleaning out the greenhouse, taking out all of the overwintered things. I put in the greenhouse what was in the garage greenhouse, what was still alive. And some of those plants are still kind of small, but I think they'll do a whole lot better out here in this rainy, wet, cooler environment. I think if I put them out now and give them a couple of days, because we've got about 3 days of rain coming, I think they'll take off. So let's get some stuff out of the greenhouse and let's get it in the garden. This looks a lot worse for the wear, but this, believe it or not, should not be alive and this mature. But this is an overwintered bitter melon. I do not care for bitter melon. I will eat it because it is good for you. But this I am growing for my sister-in-law. She truly loved the bitter melon that I gave her last year. And I thought to myself, well, you know what? Girl, this for you. So this is going to go in the garden. So let's put it in. Look how long this is, y'all. This is not a plant that should overwinter. So it should be doing some wondrous things before spring really gets started. It is longer than I am tall. All right, let's put it inside the garden. This is a new container. It looks just like my rust colored containers because it is basically the exact same thing. It's just a different color. The rust colored containers, I found those. Look at that. I've got some cinnamon in the garden. I found the rust colored containers many years ago. I want to say back in 2012. I found those in the Asian market. And I've been looking for a replacement or an additional one to put here. And I wasn't able to find it. So I went online and I found this one. It doesn't matter to me the color. What matters is the capacity. So since this is going to be a trailer, I'm going to put it on the back right here. I'm going to put it right here, probably in this corner over here. I hope you all can see. Let's zoom you in a little bit. All right. I'm going to place it right here. And you know what? I've already put some fertilizer in this container, but let me go get some more fertilizer because, I mean, why not? We want to make sure that this has an optimal chance to grow. So let me go grab that out of the greenhouse. To say shed, but I've got greenhouse on the brain because I am truly trying to take advantage of this time and get some things in the garden. As I was potting this up, well, building it, because I'm potting it up now. As I was building this container, I was putting fertilizer in it. And so I will need to make sure that when I plant anything else, that in those holes, I put some fertilizer. Now, this soil in the bottom, it is both moist at the very bottom, but this medium level is wet. So I'm going to get some rainwater and I will need to wet that in. So let me get some rain barrels are behind me. Now that's a valuable lesson to any of the new gardeners out there. Make sure that when you water deeply. If it's raining, don't take the position that it's rain, so my plants should be fine. You don't know how deeply the plants have been watered. So make sure you go out there, stick your finger in the soil like I have, use a tool, get in that soil and see how far it goes down and how far the soil is moist because it could very well be dry in areas where you think it is not. So I am going to actually take this soil and put it in. Look at those. Can you all see those roots? Look at that. That thing really put some roots down. And I put a hugelkultur method in this, so I'm not going to go down too far because there are sticks and twigs and things down there. And I'm going to try to make a little hole. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to put a little bit more fertilizer. And I'm not worried about that soil on the top because I am going to leave this soil in this container. Because this soil is going to drop down as it begins to mature. Okay, so there we go. And I'm going to press it in like so, just like that. Just like that. I did not disturb that root ball too much. I just tried to take it directly out of the pot and put it in like that. Now, there are a few more roots right there. It might grow a second one. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it. Now I'm going to take this long piece and I'm going to thread it through this cattle panel, trying not to hurt it in any way because this is a climber and it needs to climb. So I am going to thread it through, trying not to snag it on anything, snag it on itself, which I probably have already done because it has tendrils on it. And those tendrils, even though they look dry, they are still going to try to grab on. So there we go. I've got that part. I've got one more right there. There we are. And it looks like it has two, like it's split into two vines. Actually, it has three vines. It is beginning to split. So it is really ready to take off. So I'm going to continue to thread this, trying not to tear anything and get it going up the cattle panel because it needs to go up. There we are. You all cannot see all the way at the top where I am, but I am at the top. And we're going to leave it just like this. Matter of fact, I'm going to thread this around this one. Now this has the takeover spirit and it will grow and grow and grow and fill in and take over. So we'll see how it does. The other pot on the other side where I put this last year has holes on the bottom. My spouse put holes in the bottom. So this one was actually tapped into the ground last year. This one does not have a hole on the bottom. It has a holes on the side. So this one probably will not get as vigorous as the one last year. But if I can get at least 10 bitter millet off of this plant, my sister-in-law will be happy. So that's the bitter millet. Let me show you what it looks like. It's the bitter millet. I hope I'm not going too fast. But it's going all the way up the cattle panel. And I'm going to leave it right here. So let's go get a few more things out of the greenhouse. Okay, now I found in the greenhouse a lemon cucumber. I have 2 lemon cucumber plants. I hope you all can see. You probably cannot. Let's take a look and see what you can see. 2 lemon cucumbers. I'm going to let them trail up right here. So let's get to planting. Are you all putting anything out in your garden just yet? Our temperatures are very warm here. Very warm. I'm talking 70s and 80 degrees warm. But since it's been raining, it has been in the 70s, so it's been cooler. And that has felt good. Now the roots on that that cucumber looks beautiful. Look at that. It is dry. I needed to get it out of the greenhouse, and I'm really hoping that I can get it out of this cup and not damage any of those roots. We'll see. Dislodge it. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And I may need to make a little bit of a deeper hole. There we go. And then backfill just like that. Trying not to hurt anything. And I'm hoping that it will trellis well and not be eaten by anything before it can take hold. So I'm just going to press it in just like that. Now everything is going to get watered before I go in for the evening. I'm not going to be out here too long. Like I said, I am running against time because it has been raining and it's supposed to rain again. So let's see what else I can put in here. Let's go take a look and see what else is in the greenhouse. I have a few more things in the greenhouse that I would like to put, but they're going to have to go into another container. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in this, before I wrap it up and go to a different container, I have some beans that I harvested from my mustard green pot that's right over there. I have some beans that grew in there last year. I believe these are yellow wax beans. Look at that. And what I'm going to do is I am going to re-sow my seed. Oh, they're beautiful. These are black seeds. I don't know if you all can see that, but they're black. Hope you can see that. So I am going to place some beans in this pot. I just dropped one. Here we go. I'm going to put some beans in this pot. And we are going to get some nitrogen in here. I'm going to put them all around the front. And all of these containers, I am going to put beans. I'm also going to put some beans in the orchard area. I like to put beans in those containers. That way the trees have nitrogen. And I will put other things in this container. I just can't think of what it is right now. I will fill in this centerpiece because these are going to be climbers and they're going to go up. So all of this center is going to be empty. It's not going to have anything in it other than these beans going around the side. So I'll figure out once I look at my companion planting list what I want to put here. Again, that's cucumbers over there and bitter melon right there. I will need to change the tag. I'll take the tag in because it says Royal Burgundy. It says Cherokee Wax Yellow. These might be Cherokee Wax Yellow. Dragon Tongue and Volati Bush. These are bush beans, but they are definitely not all what's on here. So I'll be taking that in the house and cleaning that up the way I know what I have. So let's go to a different container. But before I do, let me water this in. And get them ready to grow. I'm going to have to go get some more water, but I'll do that and I'll be right back. I am over here in the fruit area of my garden, and this container right here is my raspberry container. And the raspberry has just begun to leaf out, but I am not happy with how this raspberry is looking. It is going to need some more nitrogen because it is looking a little yellow. So I am going to give it some more. Like I said, it's been raining. I'm going to give it some more fertilizer to make sure that it is getting what it needs. Now, I don't see any other raspberries growing out of this container. They all appear to have perished. I did put several in here. You can tell by the little yellow tags. I don't know if you all can see the little yellow tags, but I did put several in this container. Disappointing, but I feel like the weather is not conducive to growing raspberries, but I'm hoping that I'm wrong. So what I have over here, I am going to place in the back here in two sections, one over on the left and one over on the right. I have some roselle, some Jamaican sorrel, and I'm so excited to have this. It's been a while since I've had Jamaican sorrel in the garden. It didn't grow for me last year. So this year I was really trying to get it into the garden. So what I'm going to do is, oh, I've got worms in there. Look at that. Look at that beautiful worm, y'all. I love when I see worms. That means my soil has worm castings and I love it. So I'm just taking my hori hori and I'm just mixing it around in the hole. And I am going to take this out of here. I have what looks to be 4 baby plants. And so I will end up having to actually make space for 4 versus making space for 2. That's if I can release them without harming the roots at all. There we go. If it comes out as a whole clump, I'll leave it. But if I can release them a little bit and not harm their roots, I'll do that because I don't want them to be overcrowded. And that sounded like a question, but it really wasn't. I'm going to put that baby right here. Hope you all can see. I'm just going to put it deep down in there like that, hoping that I'm not burying it too deep, but I want to get those roots down in there. And then this one, see, I'm just shaking off some soil. See if I can shake it loose to where I can get another one loose. And I'm trying not to pull and break any roots. Shake it. Come on, baby. There we go. There we go. Okay, let's get it in there. Get it in there pretty deep. There we go. Trying to firm it up a little bit without smushing anything. Now I am going to have to, I didn't realize I threw it over there like that. Let me take these twigs out before I damage that baby over there. I would hate to lose all the hard work I've accomplished thus far. And I'm going to take one and put it right here. And this is a really big whiskey barrel, so it can take, oh, there's beautiful fat worms over there, y'all. Look at that. Y'all can't see it, but just trust me. Believe me. Trust me. Believe me. There we go. Let's get it in there. Get it all the way down in there. And push that soil deep around it. Trying not to hurt the worms, but want to get that baby in there. And last but not least, I'm just going to mound up some of this mulch over here in the center until I'm ready to put it around the baby plants. And I'm going to take it right here. Look at that worm. Oh my goodness. Ooh, this one is just chock full of worms, y'all. Beautiful. And I'm going to put it right here. There we go. There we go. Uh-oh, we're going to get rid of that. That's got to go night-night. Excuse me, y'all. Hope y'all don't see what I'm doing. But we're going to get rid of that. And feed it to the pot. There we go. Grubs. Finding grubs. Always finding grubs. Okay, so that is that. I have planted the roselle. Now what I'm going to do is get some rainwater. And I'm just going to take my hand and just kind of rough it up around this raspberry. And I'm going to water this in. I'm not going to do too much because that soil, it's moist as far as my hori went. And I don't want to overdo it. But I'm just going to put a little water just to seep in those roselle. And then I'll be right back. I hope you all can see. I am bippity boppity booping all around the garden. So I am over here by the shed. I was over by the compost bin a little bit ago. Wow, there are a lot of roly-polies over here in this particular container. So we're going to do our best to kind of move them on out the way, y'all. My goodness. They are sitting here living their best life. You all can't see what I'm doing, but they're going night-night. My goodness. Roly-polies, they're so gross. Okay, so y'all know how I get. I get kind of distracted like squirrel. So I am over here in the celery container, and as you all can see, I have cleaned up this celery before numerous times, but it has died back several times on me, and so I am just gonna clean it up again. I'm just taking out some of this death, just like that, making sure I'm not pulling out anything that's alive, because that's always a possibility. For me, I have to take it slow, take it easy, because I get to snatching, and I will snatch out something I don't need to be snatching. Okay, so this celery overwintered for me, and it looks like it, doesn't it? It looks terrible, but it overwintered, and we're gonna see if it'll perk itself up. It looks like it's sad, doesn't it? I'm just cleaning it up. I don't want it sitting here looking all pitiful. And I'm going to take my knife and cut this piece off down here. Just like that. I'm just throwing it on the ground, y'all. Just like that. All right. Now that we have done all that, I have cleared up a space in the soil right here in the corner. I'm going to move this irrigation over a little bit. And I'm going to get some fertilizer right here on the ground. I'm going to put some fertilizer in this container. I'm always trying to feed the soil, because feeding the soil is how you have nice, big, healthy plants. Okay. And I will go back and put in some onions. I do have onions that I've grown from seed in the greenhouse, but that's not going to be today. I'm just trying to get some of these plants out. Now, what I'm going to place in this container is celery. This is a mixture. This is a pink, white, and yellow celery. I don't know which one is which. It is still a baby celery, but that's okay. We're going to take it all and just dump it all in this corner right here. What do we have crawling up out of here? I don't know what that is, but he can't live here. No, sir. No. Sorry, y'all. That looked like one of those leaf-footed bugs. Not today. Just remember, if you're a new gardener, I know bugs are intimidating. Many people don't like bugs. I don't like them either. But here's the thing. If you are going to garden, you're going to run up against bugs. So it's important for me not to be rooting around in the soil with my hand, because you never know what is in that soil. And I want to say about 2 or so weeks ago, I thought I came across what kind of bug was that? I can't think of the name of it right now. If I can remember, I'll put it in the description box below. That joker was as big as it was as long as my thumb. It was massive. And from what I can recall, if my memory serves me correctly, it was, I think it was an assassin bug. There you go. And I'm not trying to be fooling around with those things. So it had to go night-night, because it took me by surprise. Well, all right, that's my celery. And I am going to put some water it in. And while I'm at it, I'm going to water this one here. And you know, I don't like the taste of celery, but I know celery is good for you. So the plan is to turn it into seasoning. Turn it into some dried seasoning. So there we go. Let's find something else to put in the garden. I think I know exactly what it is, and it's going to be right here. So we're going to leave the fertilizer right here, and I will be right back. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Now this pot has a fair amount of roly-polies in it, and that is because there is a fair amount of wood chip and dead debris in this container, and you will find that they like to eat that. So what I'm going to do is I'm moving that back. That will not prevent them from migrating around, but they're away from my workspace right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place some fertilizer right here in the back, just like that. Now, what I'm going to place in this container, I'm excited about, but I'm excited about almost everything that I grow, that I attempt to grow, because it's exciting. Now, I can already see I've got sticks from the hugelkultur method. That is, this pot has obviously sunken down the soil, so I've got a stick right there. We're going to push that down in the soil, just like that. And it's coming up over here, but that's all right. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit more fertilizer right there. But what I was saying is, what I'm going to put in this container is loofah. But you thought I forgot. I did not. Dramatic effect. I am going to place loofah right here in the corner, and I hope you can see what it is I am doing. I'm planting it towards the right side of the container so that it can grow up. Hope you got right in here. Hope you all can see that. This is the loofah, and it, of course, is dry. I've got 4 loofahs babies here. So this could be a huge nightmare, but I hope not. So I'm going to make a hole. We're going to drop it in like that. I'm not even going to break it up. And I am going to place it right here. We're going to push it down, seat it in. I'm going to push that soil right back around it, just like that. Now, they are trying to attach themselves. So I need to kind of see where that tendril is. And I think my phone is ringing. Hang on a minute, y'all. My apologies, everybody. Life does not stop lifing, and I had to take a business phone call. So the loofah, the baby loofahs, I have 4 of them here, and they are looking good. I'm hoping that they stay here. I tried growing some last year, and I made the mistake of putting them in the ground. And I've tried to put them right here behind this container, and something ate them. So that's why I didn't have loofah in the ground last year or in the garden at all. It takes loofah a good long while to produce. And so I just said, never mind, I will just forego having loofah. But I am finding in this container, just like in the other containers, beans, the same beans. And I've already planted 2 of them right here in the front. So I'm going to get another bean pod out of my little teal bucket, and I am going to plant my beans right along the front of this container. Now, you're not supposed to have onions, but I already have that growing in this container. I want to say, I think that's either an onion or I don't think it's one of my large leeks. Either way, I'm not worried about it. It's an onion. It's in the onion family. I can tell by the leaf, and I'm tearing leaves off, y'all, because I'm bumping into it and not paying any mind. I'm trying to get these roly polies who are living on the edge of my container as I am planting these beans. Y'all, I can't stand roly polies. And I know before somebody say, "Oh, they're good for your soil," I know. I don't like them. I don't like them. All right, so that was the beans, y'all. And I do apologize for leaving y'all so abruptly, but I'm going to put a little more fertilizer in this container, just right around where I have my beans, just like that, just like that. And I will need to get some more fertilizer and put in my container that I have planted up. And I already know what I'm going to put in this container. What I would like in here is some rutabaga and some turnips and maybe some beets. Yeah, that sounds about right. Man, these things are huge coming up out of here. They look like little tanks. Lord have mercy. Okay, let me get on from here. Okay, let's find something else in the greenhouse that we could plant. And I'll come back and I'll plant this center up in a little while. I'm probably going to put something else over here on the left-hand side as well. I want my containers to be as full as possible. So let's go find something else to put out in the garden. All right, everybody. Last but certainly not least in the garden this evening, I have taken out 4 different varieties of tomatoes. And so I am going to get those tomatoes in the garden. Now, I had previously planted some peas in all the containers that I'm going to be putting tomatoes in, but I believe my peas were gotten had gotten rotted out, except for the few that you are going to see. This one was a pack of sugar snap, and I only have 2 plants growing in this one so far, but I think they were rotted out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this soil from right here in the center, move the wood chip back, and move the soil, and I am going to place this mini San Marzano right in the center. And I want to say I've got about maybe 3 mini San Marzano plants here. And I'm going to place all of them in the center right here. I'm going to put a little bit of fertilizer down in that hole. And I'm going to mush it in. I know I just threw that soil back on top, but I did that because I want to make sure that that soil is mixed in with that fertilizer, and it's not going to sit, the plant's not going to sit straight on top of that fertilizer. So this is, let's see, looks like, no, there's 4 baby San Marzanos here. Let me move over this way because I'm leaning in the wrong direction. All right, so I am going to, and it's got a nice little root system on it. Look at that. Can you all see that? It is dry. We're going to put that in there real deep down there in that hole. If you know anything about tomatoes, they don't mind growing deep. They will end up with roots all along their stem, and they will be nice and stronger for it. So I am just going to backfill around them like that. I put them in there a little bit deep, and I'm just pressing the soil down around them. Now I'm going to take a little bit of this mulch, and not a lot, but I'm just going to put a little bit of that mulch around. There we go. And since I don't have my tag, my marker for my tag, I am going to leave my cup right here, and I'll come back out and I'll put mini San Marzano on this tag so that I know exactly what tomato that is. It won't be hard to distinguish once it begins to put on fruit, but just in case. There we go. Look at that. I'm cooking with Crisco tonight, y'all. Now let me water that in before I forget. Even though I probably don't really need to because it is going to be raining here pretty soon, but I am going to. But I don't want to take any chances. I want to make sure that my babies get off to a great start. Now let's move over to the next tomato. And I don't know exactly which one is which, so I'll have to tell you all when we get over there. So let's go to the next one. I hope you all can see. I had to shift some things around over here. This is a, let's see, this is a subarctic tomato. We're going to pour that little water right over there. Now this one got a lot of water. I just dumped a whole lot of water in the greenhouse a couple days ago when I was trying to water everything. And that one I must have put too much water in, but that's okay. Now I originally put some purple potatoes in here because I thought they might grow, but all they did was sit down here and rot. So we are going to leave those down there for fertilizer. And we're going to put some more fertilizer in by our hands. And we're going to just mix that in like that. But I did have a surprise. I didn't think I would get any purple potatoes this year. But apparently I left a couple purple potatoes in my original container that I grew these in. And so now I have some purple potatoes growing in the original pot over in the cattle panel. So I'm excited about that. And this soil is sopping wet. So I'm so glad I decided to go ahead on and take this out of here today. Uh-oh. Plop it in there like that. I know y'all probably like, ooh, girl, you rough. It is wet. My glove is now sopping wet. And that was not on the agenda for today. It'll be okay. There we go. Just sit it up like that. And what I am going to do is I'm going to pinch off that last little leaf at the bottom. There we are. Just like that. And we're going to sit it up a little bit. I know you all probably can't see that well, but we're doing it like that. There we go. Just like that. Now, let me put my glove back on. Even though it's wet, it's icky. I am going to stand this up and backfill with that soil a little bit. Just like that. And I'm going to leave it. Now, I'm not going to water that. That is extremely, extremely wet. I'm going to leave it alone. And we're going to move on to the next tomato. And I hope that one does well. I almost forgot. We're going to leave that right there so I know what to put on that tag. I had planted some early perfection peas in this container, and I didn't get any early perfection peas. So, yeah. But it is growing mushrooms. I don't know if you all can see that. Hang on one second. It's standing up right there off to the left of the screen. Right there is a mushroom, a wild mushroom. So this soil is nice and healthy and rich because it is growing mushrooms. So I'm just going to move that back just like that. Make a little hole just like in the other container. And we're going to get some fertilizer. Now that subarctic tomato I found is like a paste tomato. That was a free seed that was sent to me, and I rather liked it. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to save seed, which is what that is, and I am going to keep putting it in the garden. Okay, so let's see if I can get this out of here. Let's take a look. What's this? This is a standard San Marzano tomato. Let's see if I can get it out of here without too much trouble and no harm. Now this one is moist, but it's not as moist as the other one, the baby San Marzano. There we go. And there are a number of plants. Let's see how many I have here. It looks like 4. Looks like 4. So I am hoping that I will get a nice harvest of tomatoes. I'm going to backfill this soil while I try and press down around the root and not hurt anything. We're going to get it in there like that. Now it is leaning over. I don't want it to lean, but I don't have a choice right this second. I need to prop it up, and I'll do that off camera. But that is my standard San Marzano tomato. And I'm hoping that it will grow up inside of this tomato cage. This is a green tomato cage if you all have not noticed what this is just yet. So let's put in the last tomato. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put the rest of that soil in there. We don't want to lose any soil. Put that cup right there. And I'm going to go to the last pot, and then that'll be it for tonight. I will come back maybe tomorrow and plant some basil seeds in all of these tomato pots because I do want basil growing with these tomatoes. Or I may just come back after I finish planting it up because the sky is black over there, but it's not raining yet. So I may be able to get a little bit of seeds planted. So let's plant the last but certainly not least for the tomatoes tonight is this tomato. Let's see what this one is. But before we do that, looks like I may have one pea shoot coming up, but that pea shoot doesn't look really healthy. This is a sugar snap pea in this container, but that pea shoot does not look good at all, so it may not survive. I'm disappointed. I was really hoping to get some peas, but no dice. No dice. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing as all the other 3 pots. We're going to make a little hole. We're going to get some fertilizer down here by my feet. Like so, like that. And we're going to mix that in. Now, these containers are all newly put together this year. And again, I said this is a purple top tomato. This is a store-bought tomato. I kept the seed for this one. It was just a tomato I bought to eat, and I liked how it looked and how it tasted. So I thought, let me see if I can save seed. And that's what this is. Somebody is honking. Okay, we're going to save that soil, and we're going to mound that around like so, and make sure that stem, and this one has about 4 in here as well. We're going to get that around the stem so that stem will end up with roots on it, and it'll be a nice and strong plant in this pot, like so. Now, I would take the last leaf off, but I'm not going to do it right now. I'm going to press that soil down, and then I will come back at a later date and take those leaves off. I'm going to move this mulch over here, like so. And that is it, family, for planting up the babies out of the greenhouse. So let's see. I might have time. The sky is looking really ominous over there, you all. Really ominous. Let me go get some basil seeds. All right, so I got some basil seeds. Let's see what I'm going to put in here. I think I'm going to put sweet basil and Italian Genovese basil. I'm looking to see what's in here. This is large leaf Italian basil. I think I'm going to put all three. I'll put the large leaf Italian basil, the sweet basil, and the Genovese basil. So that's what I'll do. I'm going to move this out of the way. And I'm not going to label the basil. It doesn't matter to me if I label the basil because it's all going to go into making pesto. Now I have 4 tomatoes that I planted. Now I don't have a lot of the sweet basil in here. I may have to see if I have another container. Can you all see that? I only have a couple seeds. And I'm going to take my hori and just scratch the soil right here. And I'm going to put a pinch right there, over in the back, cover that up, pat it down, and just like that. I'm going to do the same thing right here, and this I hope you all can see. Can you see? I'm going to put a little bit right here. I want to see about making sure that I have, put a pinch right there. I want to make sure that I have enough basil for pesto and hopefully to deter any tomato hornworms that could be deciding they want to chow down on my tomatoes. Now that looks like yep, that is a roly-poly. Sorry about that, y'all. Now I'm also going to put a little pinch right here in this back corner. So I will have basil on 3 sides of this tomato. You know what? I changed my mind. I'm going to put some right here too. I want to have basil on 4 sides of this tomato. Why not? I got one little pinch left. There we are. And I think I have 1 seed left. Yep, 1 little seed left in this little packet. Come on, baby. You can do it. Come on out of there. There we are. 1 little seed. And that is or is it more than 1? Let's make sure that's not soil. I think I dumped some soil in here. Make sure we get all of our seeds, y'all. There was 1 little seed left. There we go. And that is my sweet basil. And again, I'm not going to worry about labeling because I know what my basil looks like. And I know that I'm only going to plant sweet basil in these other 2. So let's go to the other 3 pots and let's put in some basil. In this container, I'm going to put the large leaf Italian basil. And I wonder what that even smells like. Does it smell like the sweet basil? I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to place 4 little sections. And I am going to put some, trying to get down to the soil. I am running into mulch. I don't want to get it too deep. So I'll move a little bit of that soil over top of there. And I am going to put a pinch of basil right here. Just a little pinch right there. And then we're going to cover that up. Hopefully it does well. I'm going to go over on this corner, same thing. Just walking y'all through it. Just in case you're new to gardening. Sometimes it can feel a little intimidating, but it's repetitive. It feels really good when you see your plants popping up and you're like, oh, I did that. I'm going to put a little bit right here. And it's okay if it grows through and around the tomato cage. That's fine. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to place a little bit just right around that little tomato cage foot. I'm going to move this right here. And last but not least, over here in this corner, I'm going to put some right here. If I can get that big piece of mulch out of the way. There we go. And I don't have very many more seeds in my hand. So I'm going to get just a couple more out of the bag. Just a few, not many. Small little pinch. And that is that. Just like that. You want to make sure that you get them off your fingers. You're not throwing them anywhere around in the garden and having something pop up and you're not for certain what it is. Because that is a possibility. And I am always weary that I am taking seeds away with me when I use tools in the garden. So we are done with that. Now let's go to the other pot, the other two pots, and let's plant the, what's this? This one is the Italian Genovese basil. Is that a hummingbird? Yes, it is. It is zooming around my head. That hummingbird is trying to tell me that I need to get myself in gear. Sorry, guys. I'm too close. That hummingbird is trying to tell me I need to get myself in gear. I don't have enough in the garden that it can take advantage of to eat. So it is telling me, girl, you better hurry up and put some food in here for me. I like to put plants, flowers, versus the store-bought hummingbird food. That's just me. And so where's my other glove at? Here it is. All right, y'all. So in this container, and I hope you all can see, I am going to put in here, in both of these, some Italian Genovese basil. Same thing I did for the other two. Just make a little hole and put some basil in here. Now, I don't think I told you all which peas were growing in this one. So let me take this basil out of this little packet. And this one, I hadn't even opened. It was brand new. I just bought it last year. Was it last year? Oh no, this one says 22. Oh my goodness. This one's been in the pack for a good while. Okay, well I'm glad I went ahead and got it. So I am going to take a pinch and we're going to put a little pinch right here. Same thing I did for all the other ones. Over here. Now I had basil growing in with the peppers last year. And so this year I'm going to grow tomatoes, and so I want them on the tomato pot. Now I'm going to go over here in that corner, and I will tell you which peas these are in just a minute. I did not forget. I know y'all probably thought I forgot. I did not. And then last but not least, I'm going to put some right here in front of this pea plant. These peas will die off before everything gets to really going because it is going to be crazy hot. So I'm going to put the last few right there, and I'm going to take a few more out of this little packet because I've had this packet for quite some time, and I'm hoping that these seeds are going to be viable. We'll see. So we're going to put them in there like that, and then we're going to cover them up just like that. And this soil is very moist from the rain, so I'm not going to worry about watering those in. Now, I didn't forget, this one is the Sugar Daddy pea. And again, there's only two that germinated. Nope, three that germinated over here. So disappointing, but that's what I got. Now, last container, we're going to put this Italian Genovese basil. I hope you all can see. I'm just going to start right here up front. I am surprised that I've had these seeds since 20, is it 22? Since 22, and I hadn't sown them. Then again, I don't know why I'm surprised, because sometimes that happens to me. I will buy seeds and the intent is to sow them for a particular purpose, and I end up not doing that. And I know exactly where I was in 22. I lived in North Texas and I was buying seeds to make sure that I had seeds in my kind of like my survival kit. And I didn't sow everything. I was just buying so that I could have them for when and if I needed them. So this is the last little section right here, but I'm going to take another little pinch and add to that one. And I might end up putting basil in other places in the garden. I don't know. We'll see. I want to say I have a nice little amount of pesto in the freezer from last year. So I don't need a whole lot this year. But then again, you just never know. I found one more tomato, baby tomato in the greenhouse. It's called the Rio Grande tomato. And because this baby San Marzano looks so lonely, is this a baby? No, this is a subarctic, because this subarctic looks so incredibly lonely. There's only one of them. I am going to place this one in this container as well, because there's only one of it. And the other ones have 4 plants in it. And so I am going to take a chance, and I am going to place this baby right here. It is very tiny. So it must have taken off slowly, and it is looking like it could use a lot of love. So I am just going to take it out of here and put it in, and hopefully it will begin to take off. It is really tiny, and I'll show you in just a second. Can you all see how tiny that tomato is? I mean, it just got its first true leaves on it, and this soil is sopping wet. So I really needed to get it out of this container and get it into this pot. Okay, come on. Don't fall out here too quickly. Don't get hurt. Come on. Oh, there might have been more than one. Okay, it looks like there might be. Is this one? I'm not sure. There was a root here, but I don't see a top. That's odd. Oh no. I hope I didn't kill it. Okay, we're going to just leave it like that and see what happens. Okay. That might have been a mistake, but mistakes happen. And if I need to, then what I'll do is I will go and get another seed and just plop a seed in there and just start from a seed. I've never grown this particular tomato before. This was a packet that I had. It was an old packet. And I said, why not try it? So we're just going to leave it in there and see what happens. And that is the Rio Grande tomato. So I don't think it's going to survive, but we're going to cross our fingers. Okay, you guys, I'm really concerned about the sky. The sky looks terrible. Let me show you. When you think you harvested all of the potatoes, guess what shows up? A purple potato. So excited. It's only one, but at least if it gives me potatoes, I'll have some potatoes to replant and perhaps get a nice harvest at the end of the season. You all probably cannot tell at all how ominous that sky looks, but that sky is as black as I don't know what. And so I'm going to go inside now, and we're going to call this a day. So let's wrap this up. I have a bunch of onions from seed growing inside the greenhouse that I really need to get out here and in the garden. And I will do that, but it's not going to be today. Now, can you all see that? That sky is pretty scary looking. So I'm going to go inside. So I want to say thank you all very much for joining me in the garden today. It has been a pleasure to bring my garden to you whenever I bring my garden to you. It is waking up. There are lots of flowers, lots of baby plants popping up, and I'm here for it. It looks really good. It is going to be another beautiful spring, and I'm excited about it. I was looking inside the cattle panel earlier today, and I was heartbroken because the peppers that I was trying to overwinter took a really bad kick in the pants, and all of them appear to have died. But I've got 5 pots that have babies popping up. So if you grow peppers and there's a pepper inside that pot for whatever reason you're not going to keep, to eat, to freeze, to dry, whatever. If you have a damaged pepper, put that damaged pepper inside of that pot and let those seeds grow, because that's what's going on in there. And they're going to be small. They're going to end up fruiting later in the season than I would have liked, but that is okay. And so what I'm going to attempt to do is try to save them again this fall, but I don't know how that's going to go. We'll see. So thank you again for joining me in the garden. I greatly appreciate it. I have got to get inside because that sky is moving over here very quickly, and it's pretty ugly. So if you have not hit that thumbs up, hit the thumbs up. Leave me a comment, share the video, and I hope to see you. Raindrops. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye for now.